Welcome to HodgePodge. Today we're going to talk about the Diamond Granny Crossbody Bag. This bag is perfect if you want to slide your phone in, your wallet. The stitch is beautiful. It's done with a variegated yarn and a solid. It has this little latch at the top. The inside is not lined, but you can line it if you want. The strap length can be adjusted. There's a graphic in the pattern that tells you how long to make it depending on how tall you are. And it's done in the thermal stitch, which is great for a low stretch strap. Let's get started. Today we're going to use an H 5mm hook, a ball of variegated yarn. This is what I used, Super Saver in the color Black Light, and a solid. You can use any solid color you want. I just happen to go with white, plain white. You're going to need stitch markers, at least 8 of them. So let's get started. So begin with a chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to join to that beginning chain to form a ring. If you crochet tight like me, you might get a little stuck. See the ring? The ring is right there in the center. Then we're going to chain 2. That does not count as a stitch. It just gets us up to the height that we need. Now into the ring, we're going to work 3 double crochet. That's 1, and 2, and 3. Now you're going to work a chain 2 and 3 double crochet into the ring 3 more times. So chain 2 and work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. That's 1 time. Chain 2. And 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. That's 2 times. And chain 2. Three double crochet. Now make sure that you're crocheting over your tail. That's really important. That'll come into play later. And make sure your tail is towards the back of your work. Give that tail a little tug to close the ring. Chain 2. And join to that beginning stitch, that beginning double crochet with a slip stitch. There's that first round is done. You should have 4 3 double crochet clusters and 4 chain 2 spaces. So now we're going to finish off. Snip your yarn. Make sure you're snipping the right yarn. And finish off. Pull tight to close. And this is what your work should look like at this point. Now grab your solid make a slip knot. And we're going to join in the chain 2 space. Now I like to join in the chain 2 space that's right in front of or right behind the last stitch that we made, so we can crochet over those tails. So we're going to chain 1. And you're going to single crochet in that chain 2 space. Now in the second double crochet of the next 3 double crochet cluster, you're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet, and all in that same stitch. And make sure you're working over your tails. It's 3 double crochet, chain 2, and another 3 double crochet, all in that same stitch. You've made your first corner. Now in the next chain 2 space, you're going to work a single crochet. And then in the second stitch of the next cluster, you're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So that's 1 and 2, 3. Oops, 3, chain 2, and 1, 2, 3. That's our next corner made. 3, chain 2, and 3. The next chain 2 space, we're going to work a single crochet, and we're going to keep alternating that to make our corners. So in the next 3 double crochet cluster in the second stitch, you're going to work your next corner, which is 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet. That's our next corner made. In the next chain 2 space, we're going to work a single crochet, then we're going to make our last corner. Then we're going to join to the beginning single crochet and finish off. And this is what your square should look like. Now my finished square measures about 2 inches, so yours should be around 2 inches if you want to get the same size as me. There we go. Let's make another one. So grab your variegated yarn. We're going to make a slip knot. And chain 4. We're going to join to that beginning chain to make a ring. And chain 2. We're going to start by making 3 double crochet into the ring. We're going to chain 2 and work 3 double crochet into the ring 3 more times. Make sure you're crocheting right over that tail, and that the tail is towards the back of your work. Pull that tail to close the hole and join to the beginning double crochet. Oops. There we go. Finish off. And you should have 4 double crochet clusters, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 chain 2 spaces. And you should have your tail at the back of your work. That's the wrong side. It's important to have that back there. Now grab your white yarn and make a slip knot. And join with the slip stitch. Now you can join in any chain 2 space, but I really recommend that you join to the space that's right behind your last, where you finished off. We're going to chain 1 and single crochet in that same space. And we're going to crochet right over our tails. We're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in the second double crochet of the next cluster, going right over the tails. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 2, and another 3, right? All in the same stitch. And we've worked our first corner. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to single crochet in the next chain space. And then we're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in the second double crochet of the next cluster. We've made our second corner. You're going to alternate single crochet in the chain 2 space, and then 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in the second double crochet of the next cluster to make our next 2 corners. There. Now we've reached the end. We're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet. And finish off. Now because you crocheted over those tails, you can snip those off, but leave the tail in the center. Don't cut that one. And you finished 2 squares. You have to make 24 total squares. Now make sure that when you're doing the squares, you leave that center tail attached, and that'll become important in a few minutes. You'll see why. So this is what your finished squares should look like, with the center tail poking out. And now the fun part. We're going to join squares together. You can use any joining technique you want, but this is how I do it. So we're going to match the right sides together. How do you know which side is the right side? Well, the side that has the tail poking out is the wrong side. So you want 2 sides facing together and the joining tails facing the same way, and we're going to seam right up the side. The way that I like to do it is I like to catch the front loop from one square and the back loop from the other square. So we'll go through the corner and you leave tail. Leave a pretty generous tail because we'll be tying that off later. And I'm going through the front loop of one square and the back loop of the other square. And I'm just going to whip stitch these together. Nothing too fancy. Just the one side. So the front loop and the back loop. And I'm going to go all across the square. Making sure that tail, I don't catch that tail. I want that tail to be free. And front loop and back loop. Now this is what it looks like from the front, and then you can pull those tails to tighten it up a little bit. And we're going to join another one, so make sure that they're right sides facing, and the way that you know that is you have those tails poking out from the back of each square. And you want to make sure that your joining tails are all facing the same way to keep everything neat. We're going to go through the corner, catching a loop from each side, and then front loop and back loop, and just whip stitch them together. Front loop and back loop. Make sure you're not catching your starting tail. And the corner. And this is what it should look like. You pull those tails tight to secure. And you have 3 squares joined. Cut off, leaving a nice tail. And we're going to join one more square. So make sure the right sides are together. Remember, the back tails will be poking out from each side. And make sure that your joining tails are the right way around, so they're both on the same side. And we're going to whip stitch one more time. Join the corner, grab a loop from each corner, and whip stitch across. Front loop and back loop. Now you can feel free to go through both loops if you want. I like the way it looks, front loop, back loop. I prefer it that way. And we've created one column. Pull your tails, secure them. We've created one column. Now you have to do that a few more times. So now we have all of our columns We've got 6 in total. Now we're going to put them right sides together and join them. Now this is how I join them. You do not have to join them the same way. If you prefer some other joining method, that's completely fine. This is how I do it because I really don't like tails. So I matched them right sides together. And the way that you'll know they're right sides together is that the center tail is poking out. So we're going to take all of the tails and make sure that they're all poked out and put a slip stitch on our hook. And we're going to go through that corner. Now my corners are a little tight because I crochet tight. And going over all the tails that you find, we're going to single crochet across. So we're going to single crochet in that first stitch, and you'll notice that I'm going the same front loop back loop pattern that we've been following with the whip stitch, only this time I'm doing it in single crochet. So front loop, back loop, and single crochet. Front loop, back loop, pull up a loop, and single crochet. And you'll see that I'm going right over that tail, that beginning tail. Front loop, back loop. It can get a little bit tricky at the join. Just work your best. And I'm going right over that tail. So now I have 2 tails that I'm going over. Front loop, back loop. Just keep matching stitches across as best you can. Hold the work tight so it doesn't shift on you. Now when you get to the join, you're going to pull a loop out and you're going to grab your tails and tie them. I wrap the yarn around twice and pull, and then I do that again. Now I'll insert my hook back in the loop, and I'm going to crochet right over those tails. Front loop, back loop. It can get a little tight in the corners. Just take your time with this. There we go. We'll put the tails right over. You might get a few tails. I think I'm working with 4 tails here. And crochet right over them. Now I'm going to push my tails to the side because I think I've gone far enough. And I'm still working front loop, back loop. And I'm going to crochet right over that new tail from the join. Now this can be slow going, so make sure you're taking your time, going slow. And remember, you don't have to go through front loop, back loop. You can go through both loops if you want. Now I'm going to pull up a loop, and because I've come to my next join, I'm going to take the tails and tie them off. And I do that twice, just to make sure they're secure. Insert your hook back into your loop and crochet right over those tails. Make sure you've got all the tails. In my opinion, it's a little fiddly now, but it'll be worth it in the end when you don't have to weave anything. So I think I've got enough there. I'm going to push those tails to the side and continue crocheting across. I'm going to grab that new tail. Crochet over that. Looking for that stitch. There we go. And single crochet. There. Now I'm pulling up a loop here, and I'm going to tie the next two panels together. There. They're tied. I'm going to insert my hook back into my loop. Readjust my tails. I'm going to crochet right over those tails. Okay, we're nearly at the end. A few more stitches. Push those to the side. Catch that last stitch in the corner. Oops. There we go. I'm going to finish off. And now for the fun part. We get to snip off all the tails. There's no weaving. So give it a little tug and snip. Give your tails a little tug. Snip them right off. A little tug. Snip. There. And because we're done with our first panel, we can snip off all those center little strands. Isn't it satisfying? There. Now that's the back of our work. And there's the front. Now do the exact same thing to create the second panel. Now that you have two panels finished, it's time to connect them together. This is the back. This is what your work should look like on the back. And this is what it should look like on the front. And we're going to sandwich these two together, right sides together. Make sure you get all those joining tails on the outside of your work, because we're going to work the same way and crochet right over them. We're going to tie them off as we're crocheting and crochet over the tails. We're going to turn our work to the side and we're going to crochet across one side, down the bottom, and across the other side. So you want to join your yarn in the corner. So we're joining our yarn in the corner with a single crochet, and we're going to crochet right over our tails, doing front loop, back loop, all the way across. Make sure you're crocheting over your tail. Now when you get to those joining panels, you want to grab the tail from either side and tie it together. Insert your hook and make sure you're going right over those tails. Take your time and work slow, making sure that you're going over those tails, so like this you have less weaving to do later. You'll actually have no weaving to do if you crochet over all the tails. Here we are, we're almost to the first corner of the bag. Now when you get to the corner of the bag, you want to find that chain 2 space and crochet into that. And we're going to work a single crochet and a chain 1 and a single crochet all into that chain 2 space through both panels, and that's our corner made. Make sure that you're going over your tail if you have one, and continue across the bottom of the bag. When you get to the next corner, you want to find that chain 2 space and work into that chain 2 space, a single crochet, a chain 1 and a single crochet, and that's the second corner made. And then you'll continue up the next side, working across your tails and also making sure to tie off each joining panel. And there we have it. Now we can take the time to cut off our extra tails that we've crocheted over. Give them a little tug and cut off those extra tails. Now our yarn is still attached. Don't cut the yarn. We're not finishing off just yet. And that's our bag pretty much finished. So now we're going to turn it inside out. So that the right side is facing. Poke out your corners. And this is what your bag should be looking like now. So we're going to rejoin our hook. Find that starting loop. And we're going to work across the top of the bag. So we're going to chain one, and we're going to single crochet into the side of the bag, and then you're going to evenly single crochet around. Now try not to put too many stitches. If you put too many stitches in the front of the bag or the back of the bag, it'll ripple on you. So try your best to crochet evenly, and if you notice that it's starting to ripple, pull it back and use less stitches. I like to go across the join. I find that if you put a stitch in the join, it'll ripple. It's too many stitches. You want this to be as flat as possible. Just trying to decide where to put my hook. And there's no right or wrong way to do this, just evenly single crochet around. I like to put one single crochet in the side, just anywhere in the side, wherever you can get your hook to go. You'll notice that I'm skipping some stitches here and crocheting straight across in other areas. You're going to join to your beginning single crochet. And it should lay flat, so don't finish off. It should lay flat on the front and the back. You shouldn't have any ripples. Now we're going to pull out 4 stitch markers. Remember, you'll need 8 in total, so make sure you have 4 for later. And we're going to try and center these stitch markers as best as you can. You'll probably need to adjust them. I needed to. So kind of make your best guess where the first one should go. It should be somewhere near the center of that first square. just eyeball it for the first time. Then you're going to count 5 stitches and place another marker in the 6th. 5 stitches, place another marker in the stitch, in the 6th stitch. 5, and then place another marker in the 6th stitch. And then take a look. Is it in the center? Mine is not in the center. So I'm going to have to redo this. So I'm going to take that first marker out, and I think I'm just going to move it over 2 stitches. I think that looks good. We'll see how that works. Then you're going to count 5 stitches and place your marker in the 6th stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the 6th stitch. And then again, move your marker over, or you could just move it over how many you moved over the first marker. And count 5, and then put your marker in the 6th stitch. And then take another look at it. What do you think? Yeah, I like that. I think that's got it. Now what we're going to do is flip it over, get out another 4 stitch markers, and do the same thing on the opposite side. Now I like to match my first marker. So I'm gonna match my first marker to the one on the other panel, and then count over 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and place that marker in the 6th stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and place that marker in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and put that in the 6th stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that marker goes in the 6th stitch. And just take a look. Yep, I'm happy with that. I think that looks great. Okay, now we're going to start our crochet. Pick up your loop. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet up until 2 stitches before the marker. So single crochet in that first stitch, and now single crochet however many you have until you reach 2 single crochet before the marker. We're going to skip those 2 single crochet, and we're going to work 5 double crochet in the marked stitch. So skip those 2 double crochet, those 2 single crochet, and we're going to work 5 double crochet in the marked stitch. That's 3, that's 4, and there's 5. Okay, that's what it should look like. Now we're going to skip 2 double crochet and single crochet in the third single crochet. Excuse me. We're going to skip 2 more single crochet, skip 2 single crochet, and work 5 double crochet in the marked stitch. That's what it should look like. Skip 2 single crochet and work a single crochet in the third single crochet. Skip 2 single crochet and work 5 double crochet in the marked stitch. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, skip 2 single crochet and single crochet in the third single crochet, and then across this front panel here we're going to skip 2 single crochet and work 5 double crochet in the last marked stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to skip 2 more and single crochet in the 3rd single crochet, and then we're going to single crochet across the side. You might have more stitches than me or less, until you get to within 2 single crochet of the marked stitch. Then you're going to double crochet. You're going to skip those 2 single crochet and 5 double crochet in the marked stitch. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to skip 2 single crochet and single crochet in the 3rd single crochet. We're going to work the same way that we did the front panel and the back panel. Skip 2 single crochet and 5 double crochet in the marked stitch. Skip 2 single crochet and single crochet in the 3rd single crochet. We're going to skip 2 single crochet and work 5 double crochet in the marked stitch. Skip 2 single crochet and single crochet in the 3rd single crochet. And our last shell stitch here, we're going to skip 2 single crochet and work 5 double crochet in the marked stitch. We're going to skip 2 single crochet and single crochet in the next, and then join to the beginning single crochet and finish off. So that is the bag, the main portion of the bag done. And now we're going to set that aside and work the latch. So to work our latch, we'll chain 15. Just move that to the side. So you should have 15 chains, and we're going to work this like you would work, say, the sole of a shoe. In the 7th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we're going to work a single crochet, and that's your buttonhole. We're going to single crochet in the next 7 chains. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. In that last chain, we're going to work 3 single crochet. 1, 2, make sure you're working into that last chain, 3. And we're going to flip our work around so that we're working the opposite side of the foundation chain. and we're going to single crochet in each of the next 8 chain spaces on the opposite side of the foundation chain. There's 2, there's 3. Make sure you're crocheting over your tail. If you haven't noticed by now, that's a thing. It's a theme for this pattern. That's what your work should be looking like right now. I'm going to move that tail to the side, and we're going to work 6 single crochet into the chain space that we made. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to single crochet in the next 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're going to work 2 single crochet in each of the next 3 single crochet. So in this next single crochet, we're going to work 2 single crochet. That's 1 and 2. And in the next one, work 2 single crochet. That's 1 and 2. And in the next one, another 2 single crochet. It's 1 and 2. And we're going to single crochet in the next 8 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to work around, working 2 single crochet in each of the next 6. So that's 2 single crochet in that first stitch, 2 single crochet in the second stitch, 2 single crochet in the third stitch, 2 single crochet in the fourth stitch, 2 single crochet in the fifth stitch, and 2 single crochet in the 6th stitch. There. That's what your buttonhole should look like. And we're going to single crochet in the next 14 single crochet. It's 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And the last thing we have to do is just slip stitch in the next single crochet. Finish off leaving a long tail. And you can snip that beginning tail. And that's what your latch should look like. Now we're going to figure out which side of the bag we want to be the front side. I think this side. I like this side better. And you're going to position your latch in between the 2 center shells of your bag. and position it in a way that is pleasing to your eye. I think I like this. So I'm going to sew it. I'm going to sew it right here. Now I'm just picking up surface stitches here, but you can go straight through the bag if you want. I will also go straight through the bag, but I like to go around the bottom part first. This is how I attach mine. You can attach yours however you want. I'm just whip stitching around. And your latch is done. Now all that's left is to put a button. So I have a jar of buttons here, and I'll go through them and see which one fits the best. The way that I do that is I try to put it through the hole in the latch, and if it pops through, then it's the perfect size. There it goes. Try that one more time. Yep, I like that button. So this needle isn't going to work, and I need to get a needle with a smaller eye, which I have right here. And I'm just going to try to pass this needle through these holes, and there it goes. So thread your needle and sew your button. Now you can do this with regular sewing thread if you'd rather not use yarn. Whatever your preference is completely fine. Once you've got your button attached, all that's left is to weave in your ends. There. So now I will close up my bag just to make sure that everything sits the way that I want it to. And I think that looks pretty good. And we're pretty much done with the bag. The only thing left to do is the strap. So here we'll work the strap. We're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, it's important that you chain those first 7 pretty loosely because we're going to be single crocheting in the back bump, and if you crochet pretty tightly, it could be hard to get into that back bump. So, crocheting in the back bump of your foundation chain, we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook and in each chain across. Could be a little fiddly if you're a tight crocheter like I am. But take your time, find each one of those back bumps, and by the time you get to the other side, you should have 6 single crochet. There we go. Now you're going to chain 1 and turn. And you're going to insert your hook into the foundation chain from the row below, and also the front loop of the current row. Your hook should be passing through 2 loops. Mine is a little bit tight. You should chain looser. You should crochet looser than I am right here because this is a little tough to get into. There we go. And we're going to work a single crochet as normal. So through the foundation chain and the front loop and single crochet. Foundation chain and front loop and single crochet. Foundation chain, front loop, and single crochet. Foundation chain, single crochet, foundation, front loop, single crochet. That's it. Foundation, front loop, and single crochet. Chain 1 and turn. Now you will be inserting your hook into the back loop of the row below. Can be a little tricky, so take your time with this. And the front loop of the current row. So the front loop, there we go, and then we'll work a single crochet. The back loop of the row below and the front loop of the current row. Single crochet. Back loop, front loop, single crochet. Back loop, front loop, single crochet. Back loop, front loop, single crochet. And back loop, front loop, single crochet. Chain 1 and turn. And you'll continue working in this manner until your strap is as long as you want it. Mine ended up at 54 inches in length. If you're shorter, crochet less. If you're taller, crochet more. There's a chart in the pattern that will tell you about how long to make your strap. But continue working back loop, front loop, single crochet. And we'll work a few more rows together, just to make sure you've got the hang of it. Back loop, front loop, single crochet. It gets a little bit easier as the strap gets longer. It's just the first couple of rows that are a little fiddly. Back loop, front loop, single crochet. Chain one and turn, back loop, front loop, single crochet, make sure you get that last one, back loop and front loop, chain one and turn, back loop, front loop, single crochet, back loop, front loop, single crochet, back loop, front loop, and single crochet. Make sure you get that last one, back loop, front loop, and a single crochet, chain one, and turn. So you can see that there's hardly any stretch in this fabric that we're making, which is perfect for a bag handle. So back loop, front loop, back loop, and front loop, single crochet, whoops, pull that back out, there we go, back loop and front loop, single crochet, there, and you just keep working in that manner across until your strap is as long as you want. So like I said, mine ended up at 54 inches. And this is what it looks like. So now we need to finish the strap. So we're going to insert our hook, chain one and turn. Now we're going to go through that back loop and we're going to work through both loops, not just the front loop. We're going to work through both loops of the stitch right on top. So both loops. There we go. And we're going to work a single crochet as normal. And there we go. Back loop and both loops. So we're working underneath that single crochet stitch there. And we're going to work a single crochet as normal. Back loop, both loops, and single crochet. Back loop, both loops, and single crochet. Back loop, both loops, single crochet, and back loop, both loops, and single crochet. That finishes off your strap. Now we're going to leave a long tail for sewing. Now you got to decide how far down you're going to place your strap. So I like to attach on the left hand side first, just personal preference. You can attach whichever side you want to attach first, but I go on the left, and I go about an inch down, about an inch down from the inside. there you go. Now just give it a little crease and make sure that your strap is straight so you don't get any twists in it, and then attach the other side the same way that you attached the first side, about an inch down. Give it a little crease. Your bag is complete. Close the button and you're ready to go. I hope you enjoyed this pattern. I had so much fun making it with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day.